What's up, Muscle and Strength? We're here at Iron City Gym, Houston. Today, gonna hit some arms, so it's gonna be a good workout. Right now we're just doing like rear supported tricep pushdowns. Basically just getting started with arms. So we're putting some blood in there, so going light right now and just going until it burns. When I'm training arms, man, it's most always triceps first and then biceps. Every couple of weeks or so we'll swap in, we'll do biceps first and then triceps. So I like going triceps first because it's such a larger part of your arm. And I have freaky triceps, I think, so I want to make them better. You ready to go up? I got a crazy pump already. It's light, but I made it hard. Like I tell you, it's not all about the weight all the time. It's about how you move the weight, how you squeeze the muscle. That's what's gonna make the difference in the end of the day. And then you add the weight as you go. As you can perform that movement properly, start increasing the weight then. I'm gonna drop set this one. So what I did there was a failure set. I started from 60, did as many as I could do at 60. It was about 9. So I'm gonna do 9 again on my right side. Then I dropped it to 40, I did 10. And then I dropped it to 20, and I just did as many as I could do while squeezing the muscle the whole way through the set. So you gotta remember that, guys. Like, don't just press the weight out there. You wanna really squeeze the muscle even on the retraction of the weight. You know, even whenever it comes back, you wanna still be squeezing and fighting that movement. Yeah, now we gotta do to this side. That's where the fun begins. All right, drop to 40. Notice how I might be a lot stronger on one side. On some exercises, it switches back and forth for me. I know which ones are stronger on what exercises, so I always start with my weaker side first. And how you learn how to find which side is the stronger side is the obvious answer. You get in there and trying and figuring out which one is. But always start with your weaker side first, guys. So therefore, you can catch up on your more dominant muscle groups. So first thing we did was a neutral kickback with a rope. So it's gonna get like a lot of up here and the long head of the tricep. Now what we're doing is we switched the grip to a single ring, and then we're pushing down with a pronated grip. So what this is gonna do is gonna hit the outside of your tricep and get that nice, like, lightning bolt look in your arm. All right, guys, so here's a tip. You want to get some extra activation into your tricep. I want you to try turning out at the bottom. So you see what I just did there? I just went down, and at the bottom, I just try to turn out with my palm. That's gonna add a lot more flexion on that tricep. All right, guys, so the last thing we're doing with our triceps is just some dips on this machine right here. I like it because, as you can see, it kind of shakes as you go up and down, so it means you have to try to stabilize yourself, and so you're activating more muscle fibers. More activated muscle fibers, these bigger pumps, bigger gains. Just literally trying to make sure I'm squeezing all tricep the whole way through the rep. I mean, you can do a dip and then you can kind of like bounce yourself up. So that's what I'm saying, squeeze the whole way through. I mean, if you got to slow it down a little bit, slow it down. You know, if you're more advanced, squeeze the whole way through, you can go a little faster. But I'm not even counting, I'm just going. This is the end of triceps, so I'm just trying to take it to ultimate failure right now. All right, guys, so that does it for triceps. Next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna get into biceps. So we're gonna do a lot of peak work today, so check it out. So first set of biceps, because I did so much tricep activation, I wanted to really make sure that I warm up my biceps first before I start getting into the weight. So what I'm doing, just keeping the grip completely supinated, even at the bottom. So it's gonna be all bicep and just squeezing until I get a pump. Do that, now I'm gonna go into the heavier weights. The thing about biceps I've learned is you don't gotta go super heavy. You don't gotta go 70, 80, 90 pound dumbbell curls or hammer curls. You know, I seem to have the best arm workouts sticking with the 40s to 60s, you know, dumbbell range. So try to lighten up the weight just a little bit and really make sure you're targeting your bicep only, you know, whenever you're just only curling with your bicep instead of, you know, having a lot more movement. So what I did over here was just an isolated single arm preacher curl pretty much. So I got into the pad like this and I just stayed on the side of the pad, stabilized myself and just squeezed with all of my bicep. It really isolates the bicep. And then if you allow your wrist like this to kind of give a little bit here in the top, it's gonna add a lot of peak contraction as well. All right, guys, so a little trick I learned watching one of John Meadows' videos. If you have a workout partner and you're doing things that are, you know, requiring you to use one side of your body then the other, like a bent over row, or say you're doing single hand, you know, bicep curls, and then you want to switch to the other side and having everything for that next set, let your partner go in there and get one side of his while you catch your breath, and then go back and hit the other side with everything you've got. On this exercise, what I'm doing is I'm grabbing one side of the dumbbell like this and trying to like touch my palms basically. And I'm trying to keep it flat whenever I bring it to the top. So keep the top of it like parallel to the floor. And then, like I said earlier, let your wrist kind of relax at the top. It's just helping isolate a lot more of a squeeze. Plus, when your biceps, your arms are in front of you, and you have a little bit more of a shoulder flexion, it tends to hit that long head of your bicep a lot harder. See that? That's all long head, the bicep. So this last set, I'm just doing a different variation, doing single arms and one at a time. All right, I got it. Oh, just gonna do hammers now. Damn, I can't even flex my arm. That's how pumped they are. This quickly became like my favorite bicep exercise. Trying to get that that rear double bicep shot, and this is gonna help get that. That's for sure. Last thing that we're doing over here is just some elevated single cable curls. Trying to keep my elbow higher than my shoulder, so therefore there's a little bit of shoulder flexion, and I'm trying to almost pull it to the back of my ear. So it's as if I'm simulating a rear double bicep, just with a cable. And it's just gonna help get more of that peak contraction. It's gonna help you peak your biceps better and round off your full arm. I mean, you don't wanna miss one spot of your arm and not be able to hit the shot from the back, so. Yo, you're trying to burn more calories? The best way to do that is just to re-rack your weight. All right, guys, so that concludes my arm workout today. I hope you guys saw something that might help you, and hit that link and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.